And I'm hella young. They call me Zombie Ray.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by Anthony Joshua on the same show, A League of Their Own. And those comments were about Deontay Wilder. Have a listen.
AJ, let's get a prediction from you. How do you see it playing out?
First six. I think I'm going to take him out. Well, I know I'm going to take him out. I've had a shorter career, so I'm fresher. Been in the deep end longer, so I'm used to like the pressure. So I believe I'm going to be able to handle the pressure, and I'm going to take him out.
Where did Wilder go wrong? Because he was just looking for one shot, wasn't it?
Fury, drawing the first fight, came back, rejigged all his plans, and just took it to him and knew how to beat him, and he just took him to school, really, put him on the back foot.
You're faster than Wilder.
I believe I'm better than Wilder, faster, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on.
I reckon I'm going to be doing this for another 10 years.
And then we're out.
And then me and Jay.
Well, so anyways, so actually there's a few things in here. He starts off by predicting he'll beat Fury within 6 rounds, that he's younger, he's fresher, he's the better fighter than Fury. And then he talks about Wilder and says that he's a better fighter than Wilder as well. So I'll start this one off with G. What's your thoughts on Anthony Joshua predicting that he'll beat Fury inside 6? And then what are your thoughts on his comments that he's a better fighter than Deontay Wilder?
All right, so Fury within 6. I'm not so sure. However, I do favor AJ obviously in that fight, and the reason why is because what Fury did to Wilder, he cannot do against an AJ, and so he's gonna have to do the stick and move against an AJ. If he tries to bring it to AJ, I think he's gonna catch a mean hook or a mean uppercut. These are two tools that Wilder doesn't necessarily utilize, right? And so AJ, when it comes to those hooks, man, he got that power. He got that pop. And I think Fury's aware of that. So I don't think Fury's going to try to take it to him like that. And so, again, because, different styles, Fury understood that Wilder was just trying to go for the straight right. So to prevent that, you got to get up close. But AJ has, mid-range attacks. You get close, you're going to get hit with a hook. Or you could get hit with an uppercut like Klitschko got hit with. Does Fury really want to take that type of risk? I don't think so. So I think he's going to try to play it pretty safe, kind of like how he did when he fought Klitschko himself. Now, in regards to AJ's comments about Wilder, better boxing-wise, of course. However, I don't believe AJ's faster than Wilder, to be honest. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Because, to be honest, Wilder's straight right is pretty fast. Like, when he turns that, it's quick, So, but, I don't know. When I see them throw jabs, man, they speed-wise, it's kind of equal, But, again, AJ has more tools in the shed than Wilder. So, how I look at it is technically what AJ's saying, he's right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a better fighter than Wilder. But I still believe Wilder will win. Well, hold on. Prior to the Fury rematch, I was pretty confident Wilder will win. Now it all depends because boxing is psychological. So, after a loss from being undefeated for so long, that might play a role in how he approaches that fight. So as of right now, it's like a toss-up, man. But I have to when it comes to skills, obviously, AJ has more skills than Wilder. So technically what AJ's saying is correct. I just believe that Wilder has that killer instinct. And because of that killer instinct, I think it would have beat AJ. Well, before the Fury. Now I have to see how Wilder looks in the trilogy.
Dollar Bill.
First of all, I'm just going to say I have AJ beating both guys. I'm going to start with the Tyson Fury. Do I think AJ can get him out in 6 rounds? Maybe AJ knows something that we don't know. But I don't see that happening. But I do see him winning, and I do see Tyson Fury putting up a good fight. But I'm not a gypsy. I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do think that Tyson Fury might try to, like G said, he's going to probably have to box. I don't see him coming and bringing it to an AJ. If he does, it's going to be more like the whole, hit and then grab type of thing. I don't see him trying to get inside and banging with an AJ. I just don't see it. But I see AJ pulling that out. I see there might be a knockdown in that fight, but not a knockout. And I see AJ winning that fight. As far as AJ saying he's better than Deontay Wilder, what are we stating the obvious? And and stop kicking a man when he's down. These men, listen.
True. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, I mean, you have, you have the gold medalists. Then you have the bronze bomber. Then you go to the resumes. What they have achieved, of course, as it would see, Ray Charles could see that, AJ is the all-around better fighter. And I have AJ winning that fight too. But I don't want to take nothing away from Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has a Tommy Hearns-like right hand. What I mean by that is when he turns that right hand over so quick and he connects, it's going to drop any man. I think he has the ability to drop any man. And Tyson Fury was just resilient and was able to get up from those right hands in the first fight and refuse to let Wilder get any leverage on the second one. So Wilder is always dangerous with that right hand, but I have AJ beating both guys.
All right, Ned.
All right, to quote one of my favorite movies growing up as a child, Don't Be a Menace. Trills may not want to kick Wilder when he's down, but I do. But I agree. Well, AJ, if Fury said he was going to get him out in 2. If AJ has that energy, keep that energy when the fight happens. I believe in you, champ. You're going to do this. 5 or 6, make it happen, maybe 7 or 8. But, when it comes to Wilder and AJ, they're 2 different fighters. They're on the opposite ends of the spectrum. One has one punch, one has an arsenal of punches. And if Fury has to change his style for a completely different fighter, he spoke it. He's like, he came out of retirement. He's like, if I lose to a fighter with one punch, then I'm a bum. I got to retire. This is not the sport for him, basically. So, yeah, he has to really, look at videos, prepare for AJ, the styles and everything. But in that fight, I do take AJ winning the first fight and the rematch if they ever fight, because it's team 100 out here, baby.
This dude Ned. All right, so getting Fury out within 6. I saw Fury said he'd get AJ out in 1 round. So clearly there's just a lot of trash talking going on. I don't necessarily envision or see a scenario where Fury's out of there in 6 rounds, although anything's possible, right? But Fury's been in there with tough guys. Vladimir Klitschko in particular, he was able to go the distance. He was dropped twice by Wilder, including the 12th and final round. He was able to go the distance. Until I see it, I'm going to give Fury credit that he's going to go the distance in a fight. I haven't seen him. I've seen him knocked down, but I haven't seen him knocked out. And there's a huge difference. And that's part of the point that I'm making, like when I speak about Dillian White. I've seen Anthony Joshua knocked down. I've never seen him knocked out. I've seen Fury knocked down. I've never seen him knocked out. I've seen Andy Ruiz knocked down. I've never seen him knocked out. But I've seen Dillian White knocked out cold. And to me, that says something different when you see a guy knocked out cold in that fashion. And many people have come back to recover from being knocked out, but usually they're in smaller weight divisions. When you typically see someone get knocked out cold in the heavyweight division, the way that Dillian White did, they usually struggle. But I mean, Lennox was one of the heavyweights that was able to do it, come back from being knocked out cold. So we'll see what Dillian White's made of. But Tyson Fury's never really been knocked out cold for me to say, yeah, I can see it happening in under 6. No, I think Fury gets knocked down. Like Trill said, he gets back up. He gets knocked down. He gets back up. So, I mean, until proven otherwise, I think that fight goes 12. that fight can go a number of ways, and it's very difficult to call. Fury could outbox him. Joshua could hurt him and beat him for 12 rounds. For me, this fight's really like a 55-45 type of deal. I used to say I'd pick AJ, but after Tyson Fury stopped Wilder, I think Tyson Fury has more power than I gave him credit for. And I think one thing people aren't anticipating that could happen is, what if Fury hurts Joshua in that fight? It's a very tough fight to call. That's one fight I'd like to have one more sample. AJ versus Pulev and Fury versus Wilder or whomever before I make a prediction on that fight. To say that Anthony Joshua's a better fighter than Deontay Wilder, like Trill said, is just like stating the obvious. I think Anthony Joshua has true skills. He throws a jab. He hooks off the jab. He can throw a variety of punches. Deontay Wilder has one punch that has got him to the WBC champion status. If you look at the audits, you'll see the competition he faced. My question is, how good is that right hand really? He dropped Tyson Fury with it, but Tyson Fury's been dropped by S.S. Cunningham and a few other fighters, but Tyson Fury, he didn't keep Tyson Fury down. Anthony Joshua's the better fighter. Is he the more dangerous fighter is the question. That remains to be seen. I think there's a difference between being the better fighter and the more dangerous fighter. But AJ's better than Deontay Wilder. I think AJ would knock Deontay Wilder out. I've been saying it from the beginning. Nothing's changed. Deontay Wilder cannot take the punishment that AJ will give him. AJ has better variety. I think he's faster than Wilder myself, especially with every other punch. Wilder may be faster with the right hand, but I think AJ would catch him first because he has a variety of ways. And Wilder gets hit first by everybody. Watch his fights. Everyone hits him first. So imagine AJ hitting him first. Like, Daniel Dubois would hit him first. Like, so, I mean, it's just like, if Tyson Fury got off on him first, everyone gets off on Wilder first. So if you have a power puncher with good speed in the ring with Deontay Wilder, I'm picking the power puncher with good speed to beat Deontay Wilder.
I thought we wasn't going to kick him.
I never said I wasn't going to kick him. Hey, and I just want to say, I don't want no smoke with Wilder. I don't want Wilder to find out that I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I don't want him to know that. I don't want him to be able to find me. I don't want him to offer me to come in his camp and pay me to be a sparring partner. I don't want him to do that. I don't want him to do that. Because I would accept if he did it. For the record, I would accept it. But I don't want him to do it.
I know you'll take that bag.
I don't want him to do it, though.
Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. This is the Boxing Bros.
Catch me creeping down the dark street. This is where me and the zombies meet. Guarantee we all gonna eat. It's Zombie Ray again with HD. I'm a zombie in the night, you better run from me. Zombie Ray in the house, you better run, homie. Brought a mask and some gloves with some thugs with me. I came to do damage, you wanna purge with me. Super Saiyan zombie, I'll be